I was trying to put together my workout schedule for the month, as one does.
Come on. It's so boring. I'm bored already by this conversation, but keep going.
Howdy, it's Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023, and this is episode 192 of Due for a Win, the Atlantic City and Casino Biz podcast. I'm Kyle Askin, joined, as always, by Craig Stone. What's good, Craig?
I cannot believe that no one told us we were idiots for our rock music discussion last episode.
I actually had something I want to say about that. We, over the holidays, did more driving in my wife's car, and I listened to more rock music, and it's not quite as bad as I put it out to be. It's like at least 10% of the songs, not 2%, that I haven't heard before, so there is new rock music being played.
Good to know. I think there are a lot of like actual rock bands making rock music, it's just that it's not popular. But we don't need to have a whole other thing.
Right, yeah, let's not go through that again.
We should talk about old history
1892? Yeah. So in 1892, the Atlantic City Beach Patrol was fully incorporated and joined the city payroll on July 12th, 1892.
June 12th, sir.
June 12th, 1892. I'm sorry. That would have absolutely been called out by someone, I'm sure, if we didn't correct that. So this is according to the Atlantic City Free Public Library.
Every episode. Before this, it was all volunteer. They were the first paid professional lifeguards in the country. And those of you who have been around a while may remember that the Beach Patrol was a point of contention for Governor Chris Christie in 2016 because the city was paying out over $1 million a year in pensions to retired lifeguards. Yep.
It's a good gig if you can get it.
It was classic Atlantic City and New Jersey politics because all these state people, like Steve Sweeney, Senate president at the time, were like, this is absurd that they're paying this out. The city is in debt and they're paying out these pensions. And then Mayor Don Guardian was like, you know that this was actually enacted by the state and only the state can revoke it.
Right.
So the state had to go in and legislate. And I think it was a stalemate. I don't know what happened with it, but wow, such good research.
Let me tell you that our life is better that we talk less about the city finances than we used to. So we're going to keep it that way.
So much about it.
So what happened in 1992? That is not related to city finances?
Not a whole lot of note.
What did we talk about in previous episodes?
So actually, in episode 92, we talked about Atlantic City casino gambling going 24 hours, but I'm pretty sure that actually happened in 1991.
Good. At least we know for the last 100 episodes, our research hasn't gotten any worse, though it may not have gotten better.
Yes. Conflicting reports. The New York Times said 1991, and I will trust the paper of record, even though it's always fake news. But in 1992, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons performed back-to-back nights, August 21st and 22nd, at Bally's Grand. And if you can believe it, this was released on DVD in 2007. So you can see that concert film it's 3 for your collection. Make sure you buy it.
Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons.
It's like $14 at concertsondvd.com. Surely legit. Surely not just taking your credit card information and going and buying all sorts of stuff.
No, I think it's legit. You'll get DVDs, but I've definitely bought DVDs in the past where it's like literally you get them and you're like, oh, some guy used his DVR burner or whatever and made this and sent it to me.
Yeah. It's like Maxell, CDRW. Anyways, the one thing I had noticed, I looked this up, I found it on IMDb as well. And IMDb lists the venue as Bally's Casino in Atlantic City.
They don't even know the Bally's Grand. They don't know the Golden Nugget /
yes,
ACH / whatever, Hilton.
It was indeed the Bally's Grand briefly, and 1992 was part of that briefly. So keep that in mind. We had no concerts to talk about in episode 191.
And that was really what people were upset about.
That's why we had to talk about rock music for 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. And now we're right back onto Frankie Valli, which, is not rock music for sure. But Frankie Valli performs in Atlantic City like pretty regularly, at least once or twice a year.
Still doing it, man.
Like 90 years old.
He's old.
What's your favorite Frankie Valli song?
I couldn't tell you any song by Frankie Valli.
Oh, come on. Can't Take My Eyes Off You? That was my wedding song. Boom, Frankie Valli. Anyways.
So you're going to see Frankie Valli?
Oh, I would love to go see Frankie Valli.
Yeah?
I think he's, past it. Not shockingly, he is 88 years old. But it's probably still a good show.
Yeah. I got an email not that long ago to go see Chubby Checker at Golden Nugget, and I'm like,
Oh, Chubby Checker.
Oh my gosh, he's
Great.
still alive. But yes, is the answer.
I'm not seeing any Atlantic City on the schedule. Newark, New Jersey, April 28th. Red
Do
Bank,
it.
New Jersey, June 1st.
For
Wait a
the
second.
podcast.
April 29th. I said I wanted to go to some non-AC casino areas. The Vision nightclub at Wind Creek Event Center in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Oh, yes. Stay at the Sands.
Done.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
do
done.
it. It's not the Sands. It's the Wind Creek Casino now.
Oh, is it?
Get it right or pay the price. Another thing people would be correcting if I wasn't so on top of my game tonight, except for knowing about the beach patrol, whether or not current lifeguards are still enrolled in the pension. Don't know.
And knowing about Salute Your Shorts.
Salute Your Shorts was amazing. Sponge, Donkey Lips, Budnick. Oh my god. So good.
Get it right or pay the price.
Get it right or pay the price. I watched that show a lot.
Yeah, I used to watch it quite a bit too.
So you found a thing.
I did find a thing randomly. Came across something that's described. Here, let me read. This is a movie. Let me read the quick version of it. On a winter night in Atlantic City, the manager of a defunct casino, and you have to know where they filmed it, because there's only one defunct casino that just lets anyone come in and film movies.
I mean, they did film stuff at the Atlantic Club.
Oh, they did actually. Wasn't there a zombie movie at the Atlantic Club, or was that at?
That was at the Atlantic
Showboat?
Club.
Yeah, good. So, all right, there's two defunct casinos, I guess, but this is at the Showboat. So the manager of a defunct casino must reckon with his parental failures when his unruly son needs help out of an illicit bind. So it's like a 15-minute short. It's got some really spectacular pictures of the Showboat in it. I'll say that about it. The movie's totally fine, I think. If you like movies, like independent movies, I think you might think it's worthwhile to watch. If you love the Showboat, it's definitely worthwhile to watch.
So I have to watch it.
Yeah, it was totally fine. It was not offensive at all.
Was the Earl of Sandwich in it?
I think Jersey Mike's actually has a brief appearance in it, but
Jersey
no
Mike's.
Earl of Sandwich. I think it's Jersey Mike's.
Yeah, Jersey Mike's is everywhere, though.
There is a sub in it.
That's not all that exciting.
Yeah,
Although, I mean, Jersey Mike's does have the Danny DeVito ads now, so.
indeed. Jersey Mike's is pretty good.
There's one in Hoboken. I never go.
Yeah, I think Potbelly's a little better for my sandwich dollars, but Jersey Mike's is pretty good.
I like Potbelly. I don't never go there either. The one by my work closed. This is the conversation that everybody wants. We have one of those every episode, so why can't it be about sandwiches this time?
So anyway, you can follow the link and watch Safe, which, like I said, is about 15 minutes and has many shots of Atlantic City and specifically a Showboat.
Which is more than we can say for the movie Beaches, which we talked about for 20 minutes once several episodes ago. We have questions. It is a mailbag episode. Are you excited?
I'm ready. I haven't, like I was telling you, I was really busy at work today, so I did not really have time to look over these, but it'll be good.
We got 19 or 20 questions.
That's a lot of questions.
It's a lot. Pat G was the superstar, just pure volume.
As always.
Submitted 8 of them. I'm breaking them up into categories. I didn't want to just go down like, here's 8 Pat G questions, here's 3 Lou D questions, no. We have categories like Jeopardy. The categories are gaming, travel and trip planning, business stuff,
Potent potables.
about us and the podcasts, S-words. No, just kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get weird. Gotta end with let's get weird.
With let's get weird in quotes.
Yeah. Just like it would be on Jeopardy. Actually, that would mean that they were quotes and every answer would contain let's get weird. Damn it. We're off track. How do you want to do this? Are we just running through
All right.
alternating questions?
We'll just go through them. You want me to ask you the first one?
Do it.
So in the gaming questions category for 200, Pet G asks, do you know the house edge on the all small, all tall, and make 'em all bet in craps? That's the one sucker bet I can't seem to stop doing certain times when I roll, which, by the way, I fully support. Especially if you can do it for $1. Most places you can't really anymore that much, but it's definitely great for $1. The alls worked once in 2019 at the Borgata, and I probably paid it back 10 times at least since then. If the house edge is really bad, I'll have some more incentive to reduce it even more.
So I went to the Wizard of Odds, and this is what it came back with. If the small and tall pay out 30-1, which is standard now, the house edge is 18.3% on each of those bets. The standard payout used to be 34-1. I don't know if you remember that. That was a 7.76% house edge, which is not bad at all for a side bet. But yeah, 30-1 is much worse. The all bet typically pays 150-1, and it has a house edge of over 20%.
Yeah,
so it's bad.
I've seen that before when I feel like it was in the 170s.
Yeah, I think it used to be over 170, right?
I think it used to be either 172 or 175, but
Yeah, 150 to 1. I'm pretty sure it's 30 and 150 now pretty much everywhere. There are a couple reasons why I'm not so against this bet.
I hit it last time. I hit the all at Caesars. I didn't bet it, but I hit it.
Right. I mean, it's not some weird bet like, oh, if you get 4 queens in blackjack or something.
Uh-huh.
It does hit sometimes. The payout is like significant, right? So that's nice. And with craps, when it gets close to any of the all tall small, there's such an excitement at the table, and the FOMO of not being a part of that is serious.
I don't feel that emotion, but sure.
Yeah, so I commend anyone who does not feel that. I was just going to say that. And can avoid making this bet because it is a very bad bet, but I don't begrudge anyone who jumps in on it. I'm usually too cheap at $5. I usually don't throw $15 on it. Maybe like if there's a longer session and we're doing pretty well, I will.
You're just giving away $750 every roll, Craig.
It's absolutely true. I have hit it. We hit it at Bellagio when we were splitting our play 3 ways.
Mm-hmm.
And like we were super, super excited about it. This was probably in like 2012 or 11.
13? Yeah.
It was a very long time ago, yeah. And I was super excited about splitting our money 4 ways. I think we each walked away, not just from the bonus, but from this very long roll, obviously, that ended with the all small tall. I think we each cashed out for like $400 something.
That's not bad.
Which is not bad.
If you split it 4 ways, I mean, that's not bad.
But yeah, the other people at the table were laughing about how excited we were getting because, they saw us playing as a team. Yeah. So certainly no begrudging that. Pat G had another gaming question. Pay tables on video poker can be seen easily, and then you can use some website like Wizard of Odds to calculate the percentages. You guys taught me that, and I get it now. My wife plays slots almost exclusively. My kind of people. Are slots that transparent? Any tools available to know how bad or good one slot machine is versus another?
So my understanding of how it works is, generally speaking, and people can feel free to correct me if they think I'm wrong, but this is my understanding going back 10 years or whatever, is that lower denomination slots tend to be worse than higher denomination slots, and like the more, I don't know, branded a slot machine is, it'll tend to be worse than like a less branded slot machine, but I don't think that's guaranteed necessarily, and I don't think we're talking about huge differences necessarily. Like slots aren't going to be a great bet either way, so if it's 89 versus 91% payback, is that really a huge deal? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, so the state
Not really.
sets a minimum payback percentage, or like a maximum hold percentage, I guess. Mm-hmm. That's different from state to state. Maryland's is much higher than New Jersey's, for one thing. But to answer the question about the transparency, no, they're not nearly as transparent. They're not transparent at all. Generally, yes, the conventional wisdom is like a quarter slot that's just a 3 reel is going to pay back way, way better than like the penny slots that I play where you're playing 70 lines and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it's guaranteed though.
But no transparency at all. He did add that his wife will play what she wants regardless, but he'd like to know for his own knowledge. And you can know that no, there's no way to know.
Yeah. I mean, with the exception that there are some slot machines that can be on individual spins plus EV, like beyond those exceptions, I don't think it's going to make a huge difference either way. And she should play what she wants to play. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of people who swear by certain things like, oh, the game where the pigs grow and they get closer to, but like...
Which you swear by.
It says the size of the pigs has nothing to do with how likely a bonus is to happen.
But they're just ready to burst. You don't understand.
Or like the coin piles on the Asian games.
Indeed. Ready to burst. You're doing them a favor. I mean, it looks uncomfortable when they get that big.
They do, yeah. I mean, that's part of the genius of the design.
Yeah,
of
I do
the
think
game.
it is part of the design.
It's like, I gotta help this pig out.
This pig is really having a tough time here.
He looks really constipated. Do you want to field the Heidi questions?
No, I'll give them to you. So
Okay.
JM says, I am clueless on Heidi. Questions. When you say Heidi, do you mean Heidi's Beer House?
So Heidi's Beer House, there are multiple versions.
There's a lot.
Heidi's Beer House, there's Heidi and Hannah's Beer House.
There's just Beer House, right? The old one?
There's like Beer House and like Beer House 1000 or something that do have a Heidi symbol, but it's not Heidi, it's not the same. But yeah, we're mainly talking about Heidi's Beer House or Heidi and Hannah's Beer House.
All right. Do you play in Prost mode?
Always. Yes.
Always as well for me. Yes.
Well, that actually it leads into the next question.
Great. So this is specific to Prost mode, but what happens when Heidi pours a beer down a column and the symbols turn yellow? When that happens, I never win anything anyway, which is an excellent point. And this for our listeners does only happen in Prost mode. That is what the Prost mode is it gives you a chance to have this happen. But go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, so there are beer taps on top of every column. And if you're playing the bonus mode, Prost mode, whatever it is, either Heidi or Hannah or both will pour full wilds. Like it pours a full beer, it fills the whole column with beer. That's the yellow stuff. And it makes them all wild. And so it's very exciting when you get like column 1, column 3, column 4, but if you don't get anything to connect them, you'll get nothing.
Yeah.
So that does happen a lot. Like a lot of times you'll get like columns 1, 4, 5, 6 are all fully beered wilds, and then you still just win nothing. And that's very frustrating.
I have to say, I don't think Heidi is as bad as your other favorite slot, Wonder Woman. I think Wonder Woman is especially bad at giving you just tons of wilds and you winning nothing. Like, Heidi feels more fair to me when it gives you wilds. Like, Wonder Woman is horrible.
Is it one of the new ones, or is it the Wonder Woman Wilds?
I think it's the Wilds.
Yeah, so I prefer the gold. But yeah, the Wonder Woman Wild is just ridiculous with how many times it, like, unveils an entire row of wilds, and then it's like, this is nothing. Like, what is this? But I still love my Wonder Woman slots.
It's just, yeah, every row is wilds except for the first two when you get nothing.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. And the last question about Heidi is, what do you need to do to make the two Oompa guys start singing? And he adds, I don't play often, but when I do, I lose all my money in like 5 minutes.
That is Heidi. So to get the Oompa guys to start singing, playing the accordion, giving their accordions a squeeze, as they say, you need 5 Heidis left to right. And it can be even a piece of a Heidi at the very top of the column. That counts as one. But, you know, if you have 4 in the first column and 1 in the second column, that counts. If you have 1 in each column, 1 through 5, that counts. If you get, 4 in the first column and nothing in the second column, and then it's just full of Heidis, the rest of the screen, nothing. You get nothing. No bonus. No Oompa guys singing. So, you get a lot of that. Like, a lot of times you'll get, like, no Heidis in the first column, and then you just get, like, a whole screen of Heidis, so you win absolutely nothing because Heidi symbols aren't worth anything. So there's a lot of that in slots in general. Like, there's a lot of programmed in and near misses to make you think, like, oh, gotta keep playing. And Heidi's full of that. I mean, all the slots are full of that. I still like Heidi. I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's fine. I probably wish I played it less, but, it's fun when you win. Which you could say about any slot machine, I think. But
I think it's especially
Heidi is particularly fun when you get the bonus game, though.
I
feel like it's more fun than other slots with the bonus.
The problem with that is I definitely find myself at Heidi more than any other slot. Maybe Wonder Woman a close second. Seeing a Heidi machine on the floor and thinking, ooh, I want to go get a bonus. And just like playing, like thinking, well, I'll get a bonus eventually. And I just really want to get a bonus. Yeah. And then all of a sudden I've lost $100.
But at that point, you're due for a win and you have to just keep chasing your losses.
That's scientifically proven.
Indeed. That's why we named the podcast this way. It's
true. So we're back to Pat G questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
Still in the gaming category. Even though I practice blackjack a lot, I'm still only 92% accurate. I'm guessing he's using some sort of app that tells him that.
Mm-hmm.
I still doubt myself a lot and don't feel comfortable playing without a strategy card. Is it poor etiquette for me to balance one on my knee while I play? It's not on the table. Be honest.
All right, so I do have thoughts about this, and I would say I would never put a strategy card on my knee, but simply because I am positive the casino will think you're doing something like shady at that point.
Yeah.
Like, just put it on the table. They don't care. No one cares. I mean, if someone cares at the table, they're just a jerk and you shouldn't care about them. But you're allowed to play with a strategy card. Just put it on the table and play with it.
Yep. The casino does not care. The dealer will not care. You can absolutely play with a strategy card. That is fine.
People are going to give you shit when you hit 12 against the 3 or whatever, but it's what the strategy card says. And you can even, be like, look, it says it right here. I need to do it.
That actually is one nice thing about using a strategy card, because I've gotten in that argument before, and people will not believe you, but if you have the strategy card, they still won't believe you, but you'll have more confidence in your ability to talk them down.
I think it's fine. Just put it on the table.
Yep. So, similar question, but with Pai Gow tiles. And I'll ask this to you since you're the Pai Gow tiles person.
Sure. Come on, you've played tiles before.
I have. He's not yet played in a casino, only practicing in an app, and the tiles have my head spinning. Kyle makes the game very compelling. I would die without a cheat sheet at least telling me the pairs. I think I would need it on the table due to aging vision. Thoughts on this?
So with tiles specific, and I know you certainly started this way, I probably did too, honestly. Feel free, just hold your hand till the end when everyone else at the table has set their hand, and you can just show the dealer and they'll help you set it.
Yep, I still do that all the time.
Yeah. I think if you also want a cheat sheet that tells you the pairs, that would also be fine. I don't think anyone would care. I know some casinos have given them out in the past. I feel like Caesars used to have them, honestly.
Horseshoe in Baltimore used to have a big poster printed right by the tiles table that had all the pairs listed on it. So that was
right.
Nice.
I mean, most of the pairs at least are obviously a pair. It's just the four that you have to memorize.
Yeah, but they muck everything up. It just makes everything, because there's like...
It is more complicated.
This set of 7 is a pair, but this set of 7 is not a pair. It's confusing. It's too much, man.
Just got to remember the 9, the 8, the 7, and the 5. So technically, Guijut is also sort of a mixed pair, sort of. But
yeah. But, I mean, it's the top pair, so you'll remember that one.
You should have remembered that one.
If you're at a really good table, which my experience at Borgata has typically been very good, the other players at the table will be very excited to, like, give you advice.
Oh, yeah. I mean, sometimes a little too excited to give you advice.
Yeah, yeah. Most of the time they'll just say, like, that's house way, like, you should do it that way. Mm-hmm. But every once in a while you'll get a little bit of, like, well, house way is this, but I think it's more fun to do it this way. Let
me tell you my money-making scheme. Always said it this way.
Yeah. And that to me is fun. So I like that about it. And, I am still like somewhat intimidated by it, but like having a good table and a good dealer, it always helps.
Yep.
Having someone there who knows the rules helps a ton. I don't know how realistic that is for Pat, but
yeah, I think like something else too, if you're intimidated and you ever see an empty table, like really just go sit down and like just show every hand to the dealer, and that is going to be totally fine with everyone.
Good advice. So that's the gaming category. We also have the next category, travel and trip planning questions.
All right.
Still on Pat G.
Yeah, Pat G. Status match and reward club match. In the future, can you guys recap this for relevant AC casinos and major reward programs? To be honest, I've never really paid attention or tried this, but I'd like to because we're traveling more and probably leaving money on the table. Not every backdoor deal possible. Just a recap of the major ones would be appreciated. So what do you have?
You're going to know more about the like not casino stuff, like matching from casinos too.
The only two big ones right now are Hyatt and MGM have a match, and Wyndham and Caesars have a match. You know, the thing that kicked everyone off into having kind of Diamond now that they probably don't have anymore is that for a while Wyndham was matching any hotel status, which a lot of people got through credit cards, to their Diamond equivalent, which you could then match to Caesars Diamond. I don't think Wyndham's doing anything like that anymore. Most people probably aren't going to have Wyndham status on their own unless you really stay at a lot of, you know, Super 8s or whatever, you know, some of the Wyndham brands are, which some people do. And then, yeah, Hyatt's the same. If you spend 30 nights a year in a Hyatt, you can get matched to MGM Gold. So those are the two kind of outside casino ones. So if you want to talk about casinos a little bit.
Yeah, so Atlantic City for a long time has been like the tier matching capital of the world. So pretty much you can go to any casino if you have a elite status from any other casino in Atlantic City, and most of them will match it. Certainly the bigger casinos, everyone matches Caesar status and MGM status. Rock Royalty at Hard Rock, I guess, is like technically a level above Diamond in their status. So there was some like people not matching Hard Rock's Rock Royalty to their program because they were like, wow, they're just giving this away too easy, I guess. And it's sort of a higher rank than, I don't think it's 7 stars, but you know, it's somewhere between Diamond and 7 stars.
Yeah.
You know, and like Resorts, Golden Nugget, they'll all match MGM Gold or Diamond.
Will they? I think traditionally Resorts hasn't really matched anyone, but they could have changed.
They'll match.
It's like 3 months at a time now.
Is but that yeah, it's very short term. Yeah, and you've got to earn a bunch of tier credits, and it's very hard to earn. You did get
a Bally's match for like 28 days or something. So
yeah, I think my Bally's status is already done.
It's already done.
I haven't even gotten a mailer from them yet, so I don't know if it's just taking a while to go through. But yeah, I don't know what the latest is on credit card matching into status and that kind of stuff. Obviously, the Caesars credit card will get you to like Caesars Platinum.
That doesn't get you anything, though.
I think with the MGM credit card, you might be able to get all the way to gold with spend.
Yeah,
But you probably have to like manufacture some spend.
Right. I know Justin in our Facebook group, I forget his last initial, but he talks a lot about the MGM card and how it gives him kind of everything. So again, you probably have to put a bunch of spend on it if you want to do that. Yeah, traditionally people have gone, if you had an Amex Platinum or whatever, you would get some sort of Marriott and Hilton Gold, which people would match to Wyndham, which then would get you Caesars Diamond. But like I said, I'm not aware of Wyndham doing any matches right now, but I don't follow that as closely as I used to. So
yeah, so if you're looking for some of this stuff, there is an episode of the Hurdy Gurdy Travel podcast, which is Justin V's podcast, where he has friend of the podcast, Justin W, on, and they do, I think, talk about the MGM credit card a bit and about all the Caesars status matching and lounges and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I think traditionally, if you want, you can also listen to some of Vegas Fanboy has talked about this quite a bit as well. He's not Vegas Fanboy anymore, but
Travel Fanboy, yes.
Yeah. No, he's not. He's Vegas something else now, isn't he? Cheapskate Vegas. I don't think he's also had a show in 18 months or something. So.
It is Cheapskate Vegas, right?
Yes, I just looked at my app.
So that's kind of the very quick and dirty version, but there's tons of resources out there that talk about this stuff and get way more into stuff that's like not as public. If you want that information, like Facebook groups and stuff like that can get into the weeds. So Tom L, trip planning question. Would you guys ever do a group couple trips? He adds, while I mostly go with my buddies, I'll try to set up a trip for the wife and I maybe once a year. But once or twice, we've done a few couples to AC and even Vegas before kids. And those were good trips. They were good trips because there was before kids.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if we've talked about it on the podcast. Surely it's come up maybe in one episode or something, but we did a couples trip before kids as well.
We did. To Tropicana.
Yeah, the beautiful Havana Tower.
I think twice. I think you and me and our wives went, and then one time it was like Andy's wife and our wives. I think that was it. Anyways, this is actually something that just came up.
Yeah, we were talking about this. It's a good idea.
Yeah, I think a friend of ours, Dave, who we've talked about on the show, like I think jokingly suggested that the next family trip should be all of us to Atlantic City, which is not a couples trip. We're talking like all the kids.
I know last time we did something when we went to like Amish country in Pennsylvania, we were jokingly talking about it, and my wife was like all in on going to AC or whatever instead. I thought it would be more fun, but I think that was not the consensus, that the other wives would like that more, so...
Yeah, so I mentioned it to my wife, and she was like, yeah, that would be fun. Let's do it. Let's go stay at Ocean or maybe Hard Rock. I don't know. I think Ocean would be better with the kids.
Yeah.
Just because of nicer indoor pool.
It's much easier to avoid the casino, honestly.
Right, and that's
like, certainly when I took my kids, when they were 1 and 3 or whatever, to Hard Rock, it was like insatiably like causing lust in the 3-year-old at least, like seeing the slot machines and stuff.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, my son would be having a meltdown. He would love it. I mean, just like me, we would both be like doing the like cartoon eyes popping out of our head with all the slot machines. Yeah, I mean, we have done couples trips. They are very fun. I can't imagine we'd be able to make a couples only trip work.
No, that seems impossible. Getting everyone
parental and in-law help, all at the same time. But yeah, family trip, I would do that.
Yeah, we could do it. I think Ocean sounds like a good idea. You should schedule it, just like you should send out an email about Vegas, which you said you were going to do like 2 weeks ago and haven't done.
No, I'm not proactive. What's the next question? We have more travel questions.
So, Panda from Denver on Twitter. What's the best steakhouse in AC? Also, does AC have comparable spas to Vegas that I convinced my wife that hates gambling to go for 2 nights?
So starting with the steakhouse, what's your recommendation? Best steakhouse?
Have we been to a steakhouse in AC?
I think go to Doc's.
Doc's is good. Yeah. It's maybe slightly more seafoody than steak, but I think it is very good.
I got a steak at Doc's. It was excellent.
Your brother didn't love knife and fork, right?
He was not terribly impressed. It is like the classic Atlantic City restaurant. So if you're looking for that, Old Homestead, I think, is the thing that is consistently rated by like all the Facebook groups as the best. Vic and Anthony's gets good reviews, but there's a bunch of those.
So what, American Cut or whatever? Nero's
gone.
Yeah.
There is Gordon Ramsay Steak at Harrah's. There's Guy's Chop House at Bally's, which was good. I went and it was good.
McCormick and Schmick at Harrah's.
I would go to Doc's. You're going to get amazing service. It's going to be more of like a true Atlantic City experience getting out of the casino. Mm-hmm. And the steak is very good. I did have a steak there and it was excellent. So
good.
Highly recommended.
That's a good suggestion.
So what about the spa stuff? What do you think?
The only spa that my wife, who's much more into spas, has been to in AC was at the Borgata, and she absolutely loved it. I don't know if it's fully comparable to Vegas, but it's like not embarrassing, I guess.
I've been to the Ocean Spa. I have not been to any spas in Vegas. I would guess that Ocean compares extremely favorably to just about any spa in Vegas. It is pristine and amazing.
I know Ocean has good reviews too.
So yeah, I think Borgata and Ocean, you can't really go wrong with either spa. So yeah, make that pitch. Bring your wife. She'll love it. My wife doesn't like gambling. She has a great time in Atlantic City.
All right. I think I have to ask the next question. A friend of the podcast, Carl, on Twitter says over under on number of times Craig says he wants to go to the Showboat Water Park and doesn't.
Don't you want to set the over under? I think I'm going to talk about it a lot and not go. Because I'm not going to go without my kids.
Every episode, you're going to be like, I need to take my family to the Showboat and we can go to the water park once it's open. And like, you're just never going to do it. So it's the over under is huge.
I don't know because I don't know what the pricing is going to be like. When we did that Lancaster weekend, we had looked a little bit about at indoor water parks in the Poconos. Mm-hmm. The nightly rates were insane.
Yeah, but that's in the Poconos. That's like, all the assholes from New York go there.
Yeah. I mean, there was an option. It is very
not
close.
Like Atlantic City.
Yeah. There were options for like day passes and they were just absurd. It was like $80 a kid or something. And it's like, we're not paying that for like the 3-year-olds in the group. So that didn't happen. So I don't know, like if it is exorbitant, my enthusiasm for it is going to be dampened quite a bit very quickly. But yeah, I mean, if it looks cool and it's like reasonably priced rooms, I guess, we don't even necessarily have to stay there. So that's nice. But it's not going to be super high on my priority list. Like I want it to do really, really well, but I don't think I'm going to be talking about it as much as you think I am in terms of like wanting to bring the family.
Yeah, we'll see.
Although, I mean, maybe by the time it opens, my kids will be like 12 and 8. Which would be 4 years from now. Mm-hmm. and they'll be like perfect ages and I'll definitely be talking about it.
They're still making progress.
But I will say I'll definitely be talking about it like more than I'm going. Like I'll definitely say like, yeah, I really should go, but it won't be, 50 times like the only thing I talk about, like it's Lucky Snake.
I mean, you'll never talk about anything as much as Lucky Snake.
That's true. I just run up to random strangers on the street and talk about Lucky Snake, so. Business questions, next category. We only have 2, but we have to start again with Pat G.
MVP.
Any sense or thoughts on whether and how the playground could have survived under different management, considering the headwinds it faced? Its decline seemed gradual, and I always felt like it was watching a slow death until COVID. Any thoughts on its future?
I don't necessarily agree with that layout of it. I mean, it was dead before COVID, I think.
It was.
I think if it wasn't dead before COVID, COVID would have killed it 100%. I don't think, for me at least, and I'm sure there's someone out there that, whatever, there's 7.5 billion people. If we gave everyone an idea and we ran it through the simulation, like maybe someone would have come up with a good idea for it that would have succeeded. But the headwinds were really strong. I do agree with that. And I think it would have been really tough to come up with something that would have been a slam dunk success that would have definitely kept the playground kind of open in the state it was in even 8 years ago or whatever when we started the podcast.
T Street.
Yeah. I think that was, if that idea was done a bit better, and I think there were 2 problems. One, it was done like absolutely horribly, and 2, like it was already basically dead at that point. And I think there's something about that sort of like bar nightclub scene that like if you have a nightclub or whatever or like bar situation that like seems dead, that means it's going to stay dead forever in a way that like other businesses may not have that. Like cachet is important for that sort of thing. It seems like to me, and it was too late for that idea to have any chance, even if it was done well, and it was definitely not done well.
The decline also didn't seem that slow to me. It's pretty rapid.
I think it was like, it wasn't that rapid. I mean, even like from the first couple times we went, like already in 2012, 2013, like Trinity had closed. There was most of the stores moved out like pretty quickly maybe, but the restaurants I felt like closed down slowly over 5 years or whatever.
That's true. I mean, certainly the issues that everybody talks about, I mean, the outlets are right on the other side of Caesars, away from the boardwalk. There's not really a parking option.
Right.
Which I wonder a little bit if that's overblown, because it's connected to Caesars. You can park in Caesars. Certainly there's big shopping malls in Vegas that are connected to big casinos, and they don't have that problem. But it's also sort of this like unwanted thing at Caesars, right? And when it was no longer owned by Caesars and disconnected, like that's a big loss of like marketing to what would be all of your foot traffic.
And I think a big thing that would have made it more successful is if Caesars really had kept it and leaned into it and had actually, made upgrades to the casino between 2010 and 2020.
Right.
In a way they didn't.
They do own it again.
Right.
But it's just low on the priority list.
It's low on the priority list. They have other things that are a lot more urgent that they need to take care of. But we'll see if it comes back. I think it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, you would think that they would make a bunch of updates, and then they would say, hey, we've got this thing. What are we doing with it?
I mean, either some sort of integration where it's more closely integrated with Caesars, or some sort of integration with the outlets probably would have served it well. But it's hard. Atlantic City was hurting so much by the time the podcast started in 2015 that it would have been tough, I think, for it to have made it even all the way to COVID, like, relatively intact, and then I don't think it would have ever made it beyond COVID intact, unless, someone has some really outside the box idea that I'm not thinking of.
Bring back the Fountain Show.
Yeah, the Fountain Show is great. Doesn't bring in the money, but it was nice.
So next question is from Justin W.
Yeah. So I'll ask you, what's the next casino to change ownership?
I think it's gotta be one of the Caesars properties.
Yeah.
I would guess Tropicana.
The only thing that I would think is a possibility is Trop. I don't think they would ever sell Caesars or Harrah's. They're actually investing in those in a way they're not really in Tropicana. So it's possible. If there's a closure or a sale of a casino, I think it would be Trop. Ocean is owned by a hedge fund now.
Oh, that's true.
I wouldn't be shocked if they sold to someone else, especially if it's doing fairly well. They could probably make a nice profit on it. You'd think like Hard Rock will never be sold. Resorts is probably not going to be sold. Bally's, they just bought it. That's probably not going to happen. I don't see Tillman Fertitta necessarily getting rid of Golden Nugget. So, MGM's not going to get rid of Borg. So I think Ocean, maybe. But
yeah, Ocean's I didn't think about Ocean. I think that's a very good guess. My immediate reaction was, the company that owns 3 casinos in one market, but I think Ocean's probably a better bet, because they have no vested interest in like branding and marketing and all that stuff. It's just a money making thing for them. So if they can get money for it, they would.
If you can count like Showboat or whatever, there's always the chance that Bart gets bored and wants to move on and do something else. Or, Atlantic Club even. Who knows, maybe someone will actually buy that and do something with it.
Yeah, or, Showboat gets to this, like, fully realized version of itself with a water park and a full family fun attraction, and then it's just this full thing that he can sell for a huge profit. Like, that's certainly in there. So that's it for the business. What about us? About us and the podcast. I have a question for you from Pat G. Why does Kyle enjoy craps by himself so much? I love the people watching aspect. Even when I'm rolling well, it's just too fast. Please explain.
I mean, I think Pat G fundamentally misunderstands who I am as a human. So, yeah, for me, it's being at an empty or near empty table is my favorite. I don't like being at a crowded table at all. I basically won't go to a table if it's super crowded, just because I don't like kind of wedging myself in. And it's just like way too much stimuli for me and my personality and how I am.
You actively avoid social interaction.
Right, exactly. And like, not only that, craps has like a lot of social interaction in a way that other games don't necessarily. So,
but you like craps despite all that.
I like the game of craps, but yeah, I definitely like tables that are more empty than full personally. But like I said, it's just a personality thing for me, I think.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people, like Pat G says,
right, love it because it is the camaraderie and, you're together in this big group or whatever.
Pat G has another question. I wear my Due for a Win shirts with pride at least once per trip. Generates lots of comments. I agree with that. The font size is just a tad big. That's intentional, Pat. For episode 200, any chance of launching Due for a Win shirts 2.0?
It's definitely possible, I think. I think, like you said, the font size being a tad big was intentional and a design choice, and it is a bit garish, and I'm not always the most comfortable wearing it, but
no, I don't like wearing it.
It was intentional. So
yeah, I think there was like sort of a style at the time of t-shirts with just like huge text on it, and like now whatever it is 2 or 3 years later, wearing it in public is like, oh boy, this is like a shirt with a giant slogan on it. It's a little much. So we'd certainly go more understated with any shirts we print. It's not out of the question that we do it. I don't know if it will be for episode 200, but I would like to do it.
I wouldn't be surprised if we did it soon, too. I know I made a joke. I don't know if it was on an episode or just with Craig, but yeah. I mean, we had such a great time selling our first shirts over the last, 150 episodes that we surely have to do it again.
But also, we have further confirmation that we need to do it. MCZ on Twitter said that their heart was broken because we were out of shirts in most sizes, so.
Come on, there's no problem. You either need to eat more or eat less because we have both larges and 4Xs left.
That's true. Hey, what if they're I guess if they're a medium, you just eat up to a large?
Just eat more. Yeah, no, there's no problem that one of those two solutions can solve.
I got larges when we first got them, and they run a little, long, I guess, and
They're a little bit big, yeah.
And so I lost some weight and wanted to shrink them, and let me tell you, they do not shrink. I boiled them in hot water and then put them in the dryer on super high. Didn't shrink even a little bit. So that's the quality of shirt you're getting from us for $14.
I legitimately do think that the quality was good. I would like, if we do more shirts, to get it from the same people, because I was impressed with that aspect of it.
Last category. Let's get weird.
Yeah, so the first question.
Well, we saved these questions that are going to generate the most conversation, and we've already been talking for 50 minutes. So it's classic do for a
Yeah, but these are good. These are good. So Jeff from New York. You have to live in Atlantic City Hotel and Casino for a year with your family. You can't step foot off the property for 365 days. Everything is comped. The suite, restaurants, entertainment, and gambling. Which property do you pick?
So he does mention that the gambling is play money.
Sure.
So you're not taking anything home.
Yeah.
So it really is where do you like to gamble? Where do you want to eat? The big thing for me is with your family.
Uh-huh.
And I think with my family, it's either gotta be Ocean or Hard Rock.
Unbelievable. I could not disagree more.
Are you going Borg?
I'm going Borg. What are you going to eat at Ocean for 365 days? Are you going to really go to the Serendipity 3 for 365 days? That sounds awful.
I think Ocean's food choices are a little underrated because I like Amada a lot. I couldn't eat there, 100 times in a year. I mean, the Cafecino is great. You've got a really good coffee shop with a lot of weird options that's 24 hours. Serendipity 3 would be tough. You can't be doing that, even once a week. But I think there's a lot of, decent stuff there with American Cut and Dolce Mare. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But there is, good restaurants there that I never even think about. I can get so many ice cream sandwiches the size of my head.
That is true. Preferably already melted by the time you get them.
Yeah, that's true. A really nice pool, a really nice spa.
That is true.
The one thing though that I thought was we'll go over to Showboat. No, can't step foot off the property.
Nope. Would it just be Showboat? Think of all the AC eatery you could eat.
No, it's serious. The food would kill that. But I wanted to say Hard Rock because
Bricker's Burgers.
Because I love Hard Rock so much. But again, Hard Rock's food game is really weak.
Their pool is terrible.
The pool is terrible, yeah. So I think I would go Ocean, but I can definitely see why you would go Borgata.
Ocean is a better pick than I initially gave it credit for, I think. And like I said, the fact that the casino is sort of separate from the rest of the property in a way that it's not at Borg, I think is a plus with the family. I'm still not sold on eating the food there for 365 days.
Here's my thing. With apologies to the Amphora lovers out there, I think Borgata's food game is massively overrated right now.
I think just the mere fact that they have a fully fledged marketplace fast food option is a thing that if you're going to stay there for a long time, it's very nice to have, and that Ocean really doesn't have an equivalent. I mean, they have 2 or 3 restaurants in their food court. But
they have the district bars and restaurants. They have Villain and Saint. They have Wahlburgers. They got a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just think the sit down restaurants at Borgata are not as good as they used to be. I mean, it does have Izakaya.
Could you do a Dark Horse or something like Resorts?
I couldn't stay at Resorts for 365 days without leaving the property. It's too depressing.
Would be a lot of Resorts.
There'd be so much food court in that food court that I don't even like. I like the options there, but I don't like sitting there and eating. I mean, it does have Dunkin'.
You can eat in your room.
It's true. I could just get my Dunkin' and go back to the room.
Think of all the Dunkin' Donuts you'd have over those days.
You're making a hard sell. I mean, in that case, Bally's is also an under-the-radar pick.
They've got, the Mexican restaurant in the food court is supposed to be pretty decent, frankly.
Here's one thing, though. If the gambling's all play money, I don't really care about having good video poker pay tables, so I can just play like, Hard Rock or Notion's crappy video poker pay tables and it's fine.
Just go to Caesars and play 9-6 1-2 pair.
What is it? It's 10-7.
Oh,
10-7.
10-7, yeah.
Yeah. So we have a very similar question from Lou D.
That's a great question, by the way, Jeff. Thank you.
Yeah, I loved all these questions. Lou D, a classic would you rather for you both. On your next AC trip, would you rather stay, play, and drink anywhere you want, but you have to eat every meal at Chickies and Pete's? Or you have no Chickies mandates, but you must spend the entire time inside Tropicana, and you have to stay in a Chelsea Annex room?
For me, it's a no-brainer, because I don't care about food that much, right?
Yeah, I also agree that it's a no-brainer.
That's just... Yeah, I'll eat every meal at Chicken Pete's. Chicken and Pete's is totally fine. I mean, we like to make fun of them, but it's fine. And like, I'm fine eating meals at a place that's fine. So
I actually like Chickies and Pete's. I don't like...
you actively like it. So
yeah, I actively like it. I don't like eating all my meals at one place. So that's the thing that would bother me.
That's also not something that bothers me at all.
But I mean, Chickies and Pete's actually has like a pretty big menu of different stuff. So I if I'm going, even if it was a 3-night trip, I would probably be fine.
Yeah.
I would probably also be fine, like, spending a whole trip in Tropicana once. But if it's, if it's the 365 days can't leave, like, I wouldn't want that. Which, Tropicana has pretty good dining game. Although it's gotten worse. It's gotten worse.
At Gilchrist, though, I mean, you could have literally pancakes 365 days in a row.
That's true. But the Chelsea Annex room, though, like, yeah, no. I'm eating at Chickies every time, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that either way. I'm going to do that even without this mandate.
It's a good question. I think you could tweak it a little bit to get something that's like a bit closer to 50-50. But...
Yeah. This, I think, is my favorite.
All right.
Also, Lou D. I might be alone on this one, but I miss the Boardwalk Empire talk and would like to get it started back up, if only for a minute. Given that seemingly half of all movies and shows are sequels or remakes, I have a question. If a shot-for-shot remake of Boardwalk Empire was made with a cast starring casino podcasters, which roles would you play? Craig, answer for Kyle. Kyle for Craig. So, I don't know if you've had a chance to think about this at all. I had to, jog my memory on all the characters. But who am I in Boardwalk Empire?
You're not really anyone. I mean, I think in most dramas or whatever, the characters are a bit larger than life in a way that you're just not. I don't mean to be mean to you, but... I think you're just a pretty nice guy in a way that none of the characters are in Boardwalk Empire. Maybe the FBI agent that, just absolutely knocks or whatever.
Yeah.
If you just snap at some point and go a bit off the deep end, maybe you're the closest to him, but I don't think anyone's a really great match for you.
I think that's a decent enough answer. If you have to pick somebody, I think that's good. I was a little worried you were going to say Van Alden.
Oh, really? No, come on. You're not like Van Alden at all. I have no, Van Alden is someone that, just snaps all the time or whatever.
That's true.
I just don't see it.
I don't do that at all, but, more in sort of his early incarnation before you really, the first episode of being very by the book, I think.
Yeah. No, I think Knox is better.
Yeah, I like that one. I think that's a good pick.
Uh-huh.
For you, I'm going AR, Arnold Rothstein.
Oh, AR. Is it because of my digestive issues?
No, although that would have also been a funny answer for me.
Good for you, yeah.
The only reason I'm going for this is because I think you think about things in a very calculated way, in a way that he does. There were a lot of times, I mean, not late in the show, but there were a lot of times during this series where shit is blowing up all around him and he just is hey, here's the math on this. This is the odds and this is what you're why you do it this way.
Although then, yeah, towards the end, he just lost all of that and was making terrible decision after terrible decision, and it didn't make much sense.
He was on tilt.
I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. I could see myself maybe a little bit as a Margaret character too, in some way. Margaret's someone who I think also makes fairly good decisions most of the time and is basically the most reasonable character in the show, I think, in a lot of ways.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, perhaps it's not as obvious given the gender difference or whatever, makes it hard to associate that or whatever, but.
Right. What about other podcasters? Lou D did not ask this, but first question, is Chuck Monster the Commodore? Used to sort of be the main guy. It isn't doing it anymore.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty much it.
I mean, I was going to say, with how he looks, he's maybe more like the Commodore's friend that had the awesome mutton chops or whatever.
Leander? Is it
Leander? Leander.
Yeah. Somebody needs to be that guy. Oh, maybe he is Leander. I like it.
Yeah.
Who are Mark and Dr. Mike from You Can Bet on That.
Oh, boy.
I have an answer for this because I thought about it before the show.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
I'm going to give them Meyer Lansky for Mark and Lucky Luciano for Dr. Mike. Not because of, obviously they're like super crazy. I think just as a team, I think it makes some sense. Like one of them is like the more reserved, going more by the numbers, like sort of like a younger AR in Meyer Lansky. One of them is like more exuberant, obviously in a murderous way. But we're not going with that.
I mean, you don't know what Dr. Mike does.
And then Travel Fanboy can be their Bugsy Siegel. He can be their like, hyper little, stirring up shit sidekick.
If anyone's going to be, I think Mark maybe could be a little bit of Van Alden too. He seems like someone that likes things in a certain way or whatever, and like gets very impatient with things. And sorry, Mark, but.
And then I guess are Tim and Michelle from 500, are they the Nucky and Margaret as, the most established, like they are really running the podcast game with their 800 whatever episodes that they're on now.
Yeah. It's a question that you can answer better than me because I've not listened to 500 in a very long time.
They're like the OGs. 858 is their most recent episode. That's insane.
It's a lot.
Sometimes I'm like, wow, we've done so many episodes. We haven't done anything. We can keep doing this for another like 16 years to get to 858, right?
Jeez.
Liu D follows this up, and I quote, for a non-dickish question.
Your first two questions were fantastic. So
yeah, they were amazing. I was laughing so hard when this email first came in. I was like, this is exactly what I wanted in the mailbag. It's great. If you could go back in time and visit one defunct Atlantic City casino, which one would you choose and why?
I would be surprised if the answer for both of us probably wasn't Golden Nugget.
Nope.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Win Golden Nugget is a very good answer.
When it first opened, because that's a casino we both have a lot of memories in, but it was already like way past its prime when we were there. And to see that when it was like really nice and like, the casino in AC, I think that would have been fantastic.
I think I would cry, like just because of the nostalgia and like being able to see it. So that is a very, very good answer. I mean, like I think I would legitimately get like choked up if I went into like prime era.
Like 1980 Golden Nugget.
But I think for something that I just want to see for sheer weirdness, it's the Amiga era Trump Marine. No. It's.
I mean, it looks basically the same as it does in the game right now. So
it does. It does. If you watch the like intro thing to the game, I encourage you to search it.
You're just like, oh my gosh, I'm in the lobby right now.
It looks like
there's like
Nugget.
two weird escalators going down to the parking garage.
Playboy Club. Just for sheer, like, it's so different than anything that was in Atlantic City. I know that Michael Traeger from Travel Zork is a big fan of the Playboy Club. I think
it was very small,
UK,
right?
And it was a small casino. It was like very narrow and split up on at least 3 floors, maybe even more. And it would just be so interesting because it's such like a different concept than anything that we have in AC now. Like the casinos mostly feel the same. So yeah, I think it would just be like amazing to see how different it was.
Obviously, it's a bit different in AC2 as compared to something like Vegas, where, you have a much longer history of casinos being there and like some like absolutely classic casinos that have been gone for 50 years or whatever in a way that they haven't been here. Yeah,
I mean, we only really have like 8 or 10 things to choose from, right? Like Sands, Trump Taj, I guess you could argue like Trump Plaza. I mean, you could certainly
go back to playing Pai Gow and having the coldest course light in the world at the showboat.
Right. You could even go like Trop World era Tropicana. Like, I don't know.
No, I don't know why you would do that.
But like, I mean, Vegas, even the casinos that are still there have like evolved much. Like themed era MGM Grand and stuff. Like, yeah.
Or like going to Flamingo 70 years ago or whatever. Like, I don't know if it was open 70 years ago, but it was open in the 60s.
Was it the 50s?
Yeah, something. Yeah, probably. So, I mean, it would be pretty cool. Yeah. Never mind, the places that have been gone forever, like, the Desert Inn or whatever. Would be cool.
Yeah, that's a question. I think that would be a really good question for some of the Vegas podcasters.
I agree, especially,
But I do think, Golden Nugget would be amazing, but I think I'd still have to go Playboy Club.
I think that's reasonable.
Final question. Chuck F on Twitter. What question do you wish people would stop asking about Atlantic City?
Honestly, I wish people were talking about Atlantic City more, so I wish there was, in general, more questions about it. For one, it's certainly good for our bottom line and our Patreon, but for two, I mean, of course, the question that always comes to mind that, like, comes up the most is, like, Atlantic City, isn't that place unsafe or whatever?
It's never formed as a question, though.
Right.
Right?
It's
Like,
more of a comment.
The thing that bothers me is people who, like, don't ever go and don't really know anything about it, who are like, oh, it's so crappy, like, it sucks, like, why would you even go? But I don't think that really answers the question, because that is not a question. I weirdly, maybe because I'm ashamed, but I don't love when people ask me, like, oh, what's your game? Like, what do you play? Because to me, like, that's not the most interesting part of my Atlantic City trips. But in general, like, any Atlantic City question, like, I'm just happy to engage. That's why we have a show, to come on every 2 weeks and talk about it.
Starting the conversation about Atlantic City 192 times.
Sometimes, though, people who I know don't really care that much about Atlantic City ask me questions, and I just feel, like, almost bad about answering it, because I know, like, you don't want the level of detail that I want to go into right now. So I'm just gonna, like, give you kind of a shitty answer, because, like, I know you don't want the full answer as much as I want to give it.
Yeah. Sometimes people just ask me about Atlantic City because they think it's something I care about and want to talk to them about, and I just, like, I don't want to talk to you about this because you don't actually care. But that's just my personality, I think. Like, you're just trying to be polite, and I don't have time for this.
Yeah, it's not, yeah, I mean, I think for you, it's more like I don't want to talk to people.
I don't want to talk to you about something that, especially about something you don't actually care about, which I know you don't care about.
It's not a specific question. It's more like, if you're just asking me this because you know that, like, I have the podcast,
I have a podcast,
and you, like, never go and have no interest in going and, like, don't actually care, like, that's not really that fun for me. But, yeah, like, people who are interested in going, or, like, having been in a very long time, like, I have endless time for that, and you can ask me the, like, dumbest question, like, oh, I heard the boardwalk's still all washed away. Like, that's fine.
And you're like, well, actually,
I will set the record straight.
It was never washed away. I mean, it probably was, but in 1890 or something.
Hey, we saw each iteration of the boardwalk lasted like 6 years, and then we had to build a new one.
For all we know, the fourth iteration hasn't washed away yet in 1892, but we don't actually know, because who knows if people wrote about it or not.
By that point, they were like, this is rote to talk about the boardwalk washing away. We can't keep doing it.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much for your questions. It was way more than I would have ever hoped for, and they were awesome questions. So thanks for participating, and thanks for sending them in. If you want to reach out to us or any of our other listeners, you can do so at our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/do4win. Find all of our great content, or buy our 3 large shirts and our 1 4XL shirt at do4win.com. Reach out to Craig on Twitter at do4win, or me at Kyle Askin, and send Craig questions to do4win@gmail.com. Even though we don't have a mailbag episode coming up, Craig will probably actually ignore your questions. But I was going to say, well, we can answer your questions anyway in the next episode.
We have a suggestion that's not a question.
Okay.
Which is from Scott S.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, we should go to Vegas during the F1 race.
I've looked into it. MGM has been sending me a lot of emails about it, and Caesars, I think. And it seems like tickets are starting at something like $3,000 for the weekend, and yes, plus exorbitant room fees. I don't think it's going to happen, but...
So yeah, like, flights are super expensive, rooms are super expensive. He was suggesting a workaround of flying into Phoenix and renting a car and driving.
That's cool, and I absolutely love that drive. It's obviously a drive I did a lot because I lived in Phoenix for 2 years. Yeah, I love that drive. Especially don't go up, 17 to 40. That's what suckers do, drive through the middle of the desert and cut the corner.
It's literally, it's the desert. You don't even need a road. Just drive.
Pretty much. So,
and then also there's some way to use Hilton points to book, I think, Tropicana also. So,
ooh, even that weekend.
I can't guarantee that, but that is what he suggested. So, my personal thought is I don't go to Vegas often enough, so I don't really get to experience, like, Vegas, and this feels like a very, like, disrupted version of Vegas.
Yeah, not a true Vegas experience. Yeah. It's going to be like, super luxury Vegas.
I think that track layout sucks, by the way.
We'll see. I'm looking forward to it. I will enjoy watching it at home.
I mean, it will be extremely cool to see the cars going down the track, but if it's anything like this year, like, Red Bull will just, like, destroy everyone, because it's all straightaways. And, like, you might as well just have them race down a quarter mile.
It's going to be fine.
Let's take them to the drag strip, Capitol Raceway in whatever, Maryland, put them next to each other, have a girl in a bikini waving a flag.
Yeah.
And go straight down a quarter mile.
Come on. Baku has like a,
same race.
4K straight.
That is true.
That's like one of the best races of the year. So
I might not know what I'm talking about. Anyways.
I think it's going to be fine.
That's the episode. We didn't pick a hero, the best character in the show.
I mean, I'm more like Harrow, I think. I mumble a lot and, I'm pretty antisocial, but...
Yeah, Harrow is too good a character. Like, there's too much, and you're just saying so much about someone if you claim that they're Harrow. Like, good and bad. Like, oh, you've been through a lot. You've probably killed just lots of people.
Right, you have like a weird obsession with your sister.
I don't think you can name anyone Harrow. Or a Chip Rossetti, really. Yeah. That would be a terrible thing to be named.
I mean, some people are just bad characters. I don't know.
who ruins the entire podcast sphere. Anyways, thanks for the questions.
Yeah. Thank you guys very much, and we'll talk to you all in a few weeks.
I get like a WhatsApp message from the team. Here's the playoff schedule. If we lose on Friday and end up in third place, we would potentially play Friday, January 13th.
Okay.
Sunday, January 15th. Tuesday, January 17th. Friday, January 20th. Sunday, January 22nd. You cannot schedule us for 5 games in 10 nights. That is absurd.
That is a lot. And you wouldn't be able to go because you're going to Atlantic City, right?